guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. So today we're talking about my top 5 eyeshadow palettes and let's get right into it. I always feel like these videos run too long, so I'm gonna try and just literally go boom 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 boom. These are the 5. So let's get right into it. As always, before we start, please do subscribe to my channel if you haven't already and give this video a thumbs up if you do like it. Definitely hit that notification bell so that you never miss a video from me, and do follow me on Instagram if you don't already. I do a lot of mini tutorials, tips and tricks and things like that. In fact, the tutorial on this look that I'm wearing right now is already uploaded on Instagram, so definitely do check that out. Let's get right into it. And another thing before we start, guys, I just want to tell you I'm not going to go into depth with I'm not going to go into depth with reviewing every single one of these palettes, because I just want to say it right now that the reason these palettes are my top 5 favorite palettes is because they have excellent color payoff, they have amazing blendability, the formulas are great, they are super duper pigmented. They are absolutely fantastic palettes, otherwise they would not be in my top 5. So I don't want to go into in-depth detail with each and every palette saying all of these things over and again, but every single one of these palettes has all these 4 things in them for sure, which is why they've made my top 5 list. Let's start. So starting off with the first one, this is a very old palette in my kit and I absolutely love it. It is the Modern Renaissance palette by Anastasia Beverly Hills. The fact that this is the state of the palette, as you can see, it is so dirty, and the fact that it is so dirty is because I have used this a lot in the past, especially on my clients. So it is dirty from the inside as well, but this is basically what the palette looks like. I have hit pan on so many colors already. That's another thing that indicates how much this palette has been through with me. So if you had to buy one eyeshadow palette, I would suggest this one or another one that I will come to in a minute, but definitely this is one of my absolute favorites just because the formulas are freaking amazing. The colors are so pigmented. I mean, just look at the swatches. It is a ridiculously pigmented palette, especially if you are a makeup artist. This is a must have in your kit just because of the colors. They have pinks, reds, deep reds, ochres, oranges, which is so fabulous. So here is a close-up of all the shades in the palette. Like I mentioned, amazing neutrals, amazing crease shades, excellent transition shades. This palette is a makeup artist must-have. The second palette I want to talk about is a mini one by Huda Beauty, and it is the Huda Beauty Obsessions palette. Now I have particularly the Mauve Obsessions, and once again, excellent colors, really nice pinks and maroons and burgundies basically, and I just absolutely love the formulas. I love the pigmentation. Now this palette and the Modern Renaissance, all these palettes do have fallout, but that is something you just can't control. I mean, the fact that the other stuff, the other factors that make that palette are so freaking amazing, I can make do with that much fallout because I anyways do my eyeshadows before doing my base, so I can get rid of all of that fallout if I need to. Like I mentioned, I particularly have the Mauve Obsessions palette, but every single palette in this Obsessions range, they have the emeralds, which is so beautiful. Like, I'm waiting to get my hands on that one. Then they have the coral one that is really beautiful as well. My point being that whichever palette that you pick from this entire Obsessions range is not going to disappoint you. It comes with 9 shades in total, and it has 3 shimmer shades and 1 like base eyeshadow shade, and Huda Beauty's palettes are absolutely fantastic. I mean, there's no question about that, and which is why this one definitely makes my top 5 list. The third palette I'm going to talk about is also one palette that I've had since the longest time, and I'd kind of stopped using it in the middle because I don't know, maybe maybe I didn't like really get how to use this palette. And it's not a new thing because I've had friends like text me in the past that, you know, I've got this palette, and this palette that I'm going to talk about also sells in like singles. So the palette I'm talking about is the Moondust palette by Urban Decay. It is a beautiful like glitter shimmer palette. It's got 8 shades that are so damn beautiful. It is a nice colorful palette and it is pigmented as hell. So if I want to just pick up a couple of these shades for you, look at how pretty. So the thing with this palette is, like I was mentioning, that a lot of people have asked me that I have this palette, you know, whatever, it picks up on the fingers really well, but it doesn't show up on the eyes, and like, what is happening, how to use this, blah blah blah. And trust me, I have tried a lot of different ways to apply this palette, and the best way to use it is basically to apply a base eyeshadow under your eyes. Let it be brown or black or basically a darker matte colored eyeshadow on your eyes, and then apply this all over or wherever you want to place this eyeshadow with your fingers. And it works so freaking well. I even tried to apply this eyeshadow wet with a brush, but more than that, it just works so well when you apply it with your fingers. So whoever has this palette, it's an oldie from Urban Decay, but I know that a lot of people have this palette. Just the colors are so attractive, which is what made me buy it in the first place. So whoever has this palette, that's basically how you apply it. You want to apply it on top of a base color with your fingers, and trust me, you will not be sorry that you picked this up. The fourth eyeshadow palette is also from Urban Decay. It is one of my favorite colorful palettes, and it is the Electric palette by Urban Decay. It has got these 10 excellent super popping shades, and that is what I love about this palette. Now there is another palette that I love for colors as well, and it is the NYX Ultimate Brights eyeshadow palette. Now the thing between these two palettes is that all of these shades in the Electric palette are shimmer shades, whereas the NYX shades are all matte shades. So that's the difference between these two. But if you want a pop of color, I reach out for either one of these palettes and they don't disappoint me ever. Going back to the Electric palette, once again, excellent quality of the colors, super duper pigmented. As you can see, it is a crazy amazing palette, and whenever I need like a pop of color, this is the palette that I go to. Finally, the last palette that I want to talk about is this one from Huda Beauty. It is the Huda Beauty Rose Gold Remastered palette. Now this is that palette that I was talking about, which is like the Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette. It is so versatile. It has got the most amazing shades. As you can see, it's got a lot of shades, and the crease shades are so beautiful, especially on our skin tones, our Indian skin tones. These shades are so phenomenal. They show up really well, they don't have that much of a fallout, and they're just so perfect. I absolutely love every single one of these crease shades. Matte shades is what I'm trying to say. And then it's got half the palette that are all of these shimmer shades, which again are so important to have if you are a bridal makeup artist. It's got a rose gold, it's got pinks, it's got a 24 karat gold, which is like a yellow gold, it's got these neutrals right here, and it's got these beautiful, these three shades. My new favorite shade from this palette is Trust Fund. I tried using it the other day, and I literally just took a little bit and just applied it on top of this eyeshadow that I already had, and it looked so freaking amazing. So yes, definitely one of those very important palettes. The quality, pigment, color payoff, everything of these palettes is so freaking fantastic, which is why it had to make my top 5. So between this one and the Modern Renaissance, I think they're so important to have in your kit as a makeup artist. Obviously the Huda Beauty one has more shades to pick from and are similar to the Modern Renaissance shades. So definitely if you're going only for one palette, I would pick the Huda Beauty Rose Gold Remastered palette. So that's it guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I am thinking of doing a top 5 highlighters video next week. Let me know if you want to see that, and I will be happy to make that for you. I will see you in my next one. Bye.